Okay. Okay, here we go. Back again. We're talking about Jamison Crowder. Everyone's talking about Terrell Pryor. But I haven't seen the chemistry yet with Pryor. We got 2 seasons of chemistry with Jamison Crowder. I think, big surprise, Jamison Crowder is going to finish the season in Washington as the #1 receiver. Devontae Parker, I think, is going to do the same thing that Jarvis Landry. He seems to have a better connection, chemistry going right now with Cutler. Ted Ginn Jr., I think, is going to be a big surprise. And I like Rex Burkhead in the Patriots in New England. I think he's great. Now, let's talk about guys that won't live up to the hype. Everyone's all excited about Marcus Mariota. Oh, Mariota. Oh, it's going to be dynamite. No, Prescott is going to be dynamite. Mariota, I don't see what are people talking about. Did they get that much better? In the passing game, they added Eric Decker. They still have a bunch of no-names. As far as I'm concerned, they still don't have the receivers for Mariota to be this incredible dynamite, oh my God, it's Mariota time. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't necessarily think it is going to be Mariota. I don't think Isaiah Crowell, simply because of the fact that I don't think they got the receivers to make a passing game out of anything in the Browns. And Blunt, I think Blunt is going to go back to being disappointing. I think being around the Patriots made LeGarrette Blunt great. I think he stinks on his own. And I think he'll stink for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Wendell Smallwood might surprise a lot of people when he winds up the major back on that. Although, LeGarrette Blunt will remain the vulture on that team. All right. Guys who look good on paper that I'm a little afraid of, Terrell Pryor and Alshon Jeffrey. Again, they look great on paper. They should do amazing, but we've seen this before. DeAndre Hopkins was supposed to be amazing no matter who the quarterback was, but that shit fell apart the second Osweiler rolled into town and fucked everything up. So I have Terrell Pryor and Alshon Jeffrey. Even though I drafted Alshon Jeffrey in one of my leagues, they're going to have to show me something. Because right now, I ain't seen it yet. I have not seen the chemistry yet, and that's what you got to have. Guys I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Keenan Allen. Every year, he's so dynamite. But he cannot stay healthy. He can't do it. He can't do it. It isn't what he does. What he does is get hurt. That's what he does. I wouldn't touch anyone on the Jaguars, including Leonard Fournette. Everybody's all excited about Leonard Fournette. Let me tell you something about Leonard Fournette. He's already hurt his foot. He's got a history of injuries. He's already sat out preseason games, and they're going to try and run the shit out of him. You'll be lucky if you get 3 consecutive games out of Leonard Fournette before there's an injury interruption. I wouldn't touch him. The Jets, I don't like anyone on the Jets. The Ravens right now are big question marks because, to be honest, without Flacco, there's 0. They're like Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton with Tolzien is not great. So, which sucks because I picked up Jack Doyle in 2 of my leagues as my backup tight end. And now, let me tell you something, a guy that people are going to be picking up, Jared Cook. I think is going to do some big things out of Oakland, and so I personally may switch over. I may drop and pick up Jared Cook before other people get to him. I think he's going to be a very added after week 1 tight end. But I wouldn't take anyone out of the Browns, Isaiah Crowell included. Although here's the thing, the Browns always have one guy worth owning. Terrell Pryor, Gary Barnidge, Josh Gordon. There's always one guy, but you never know who it's going to be. You never expected Barnidge. You never expected Terrell Pryor, and you certainly didn't expect Josh Gordon. So, so who it's going to be, I don't know. If you think it's going to be Crowell, you're wrong, because I don't think it's going to be Crowell, but somebody will emerge in the Browns. That's just the nature of the beast. And here's a couple guys that I think are really going to live up to the hype. Dalvin Cook. I love Dalvin Cook. Now, I see more like a Lamar Miller. They're going to give him lots to do, but he's not necessarily going to score a lot because he has a huge vulture sitting there by the name of Latavius Murray. So, Joe Mixon. Again, I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's going to do a lot of things. I think he's going to live up to the hype. But first, Jeremy Hill is going to be right there chomping at the bit, vulturing some stuff from him too. 2 tight ends. Ertz, I think, is finally going to live up to the hype. Every year they're like, oh, Ertz, and then he stinks. I think Ertz is going to be a top 5. Top 3 probably. I think he's fantastic. Kelsey, I think, is going to have a huge season. Carlos Hyde. Every year people are like, Carlos Hyde, and he stinks. But this year, I really do believe Carlos Hyde will live up to the hype. And finally, I believe in Martellus Bennett. Because if you remember Jermichael Finley, I think he's finally the guy that can fill those Jermichael Finley shoes. I really like Martellus Bennett. I have him in 2 of my 3 leagues. So let's now look at week 1. Here's the thing about week 1. Obviously, there's now the hurricane. The hurricane has changed the dynamic tremendously, and that being the case, so what do you do? I mean, it's essentially you get your bye week 1, which is the worst fucking thing in the universe, because a bye week is supposed to let your players rest and heal up, but they haven't even played a game yet. So for owners of Mike Evans, particularly of Jay Ajayi, again, who I felt was going to be the best of the year, this is devastating, because for them to have to take a bye week now means he just has to get run into the ground as the season wears on. I'm very worried about the impact of this sudden, cancellation at the beginning of the season, the effect it's going to have on Jay Ajayi's season. More than anyone. Mike Evans, I think, will be fine. I think Devontae Parker will be fine. But Ajayi, the style that he runs, that week is so important. I've got him in 2 leagues. So I think this thing's going to be devastating for Ajayi owners. But, we'll have to wait. We'll have to just play it out and see how it goes. So going into this week, first of all, let's talk about the projections. Obviously, projections are bullshit anyway, but week 1 even more so, okay? Here's something to remember. Week 1 never mirrors the rest of the season. Shit happens week 1. Everyone goes rushing the waiver wire to pick up guys that have huge games, and the rest of the season, it's never like week 1. Week 1 is an aberration almost across the board. I remember a couple of seasons ago, Anquan Boldin had 4 touchdowns in game 1 I think he was playing for San Francisco at the time. And I had Anquan Boldin. People were like, "You're winning the championship." I had Peyton Manning. I had all these, and then Peyton Manning kind of did just okay. And Anquan Boldin, I think, caught 2 more touchdowns the rest of the fucking season. So temper your expectations for week 1. Play your studs. Don't pay attention to projections, because projections are always bullshit, but particularly in week 1, what the fuck are they basing it on? Preseason? You can't tell me shit from that. So play your studs and go with your gut. If there's someone you really love, then play him. Play him. If you believe in him, you play him. Because if he does have a good game, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass. All right. That's it. This is the week 1 post-draft recap, season 1 preview, fantasy football, harsh reality. Follow me on Twitter at @TheGregWilson. Throw me that tweet, hashtag give Greg a damn special at Netflix. And thank you guys very much for listening. Oh, check out my website, GregRomeroWilson.com.